ERCP practitioners in China, results from national surveys in 2007 and 2013. Introduction. Endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, ERCP, was first introduced in 1968 and has been an effective tool in the diagnosis and treatment of biliary and pancreatic diseases. The first ERCP in mainland China was performed in 1973. After 4 decades of development, ERCP services have been provided throughout China. However, a national survey showed that only 63,787 ERCP procedures were performed in 2006 in 470 hospitals across mainland China, with an estimated annual ERCP rate of 4.87 per 100,000 inhabitants, which was much lower than those of developed countries. In that survey, shortage of ERCP endoscopists, ERCPists, was suggested to be a main factor restricting the development of the ERCP service. Moreover, in most developed countries, endoscopists intending to perform ERCP are required to undergo a standardized advanced endoscopic training program to obtain technical competence, whereas China has no national standard for ERCPists or trainees, and the training pathway of ERCPists is unknown. Therefore, a survey to investigate the status of Chinese ERCPists would be beneficial for development of the ERCP service and the establishment of a standard training program. To address these issues, the Chinese Society of Digestive Endoscopy, CSDE, conducted a national survey of ERCPists in 2007 to determine the number, regional distribution, demographic characteristics, practice status, and training background of Chinese ERCPists. In 2013, the CSDE conducted another survey with a similar design to investigate the development of ERCPists in China. Background and study aims. The endoscopist performing endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, ERCP, has an essential role in the development of that procedure. Given that the practice status and training background of Chinese ERCP practitioners, ERCPists, were largely unknown, 2 surveys were conducted to determine the status and development of this professional group. Methods. National surveys were conducted by the Chinese Society of Digestive Endoscopy in 2007 and 2013. Information regarding numbers, demographic characteristics, practice status, and training background of ERCPists was collected. Results. Total numbers of ERCPists in mainland China increased from 1,155 to 3,345. 0.88 to 2.47 per million inhabitants between 2006 and 2012. Regional distribution of ERCPists showed significant imbalance, and the ERCPist population ratio correlated with gross domestic product per capita. 2006 R equals 0.871, P less than 0.001. 2012 R equals 0.452, P equals 0.005. The mean standard deviation age of ERCPists decreased from 42.5, 6.1 years to 37.4, 5.4 years. The proportion of female ERCPists increased from 11.1% to 16.8%. In 2006 and 2012, annual ERCP volumes per endoscopist were 55.2 and 58.5 respectively, similar to that in most Western countries. The most common training pathway was participation in a training program in an ERCP center within China. 2006, 51.1%, 2012, 73.4%. The proportion of ERCPists with no standard training decreased from 20.8% to 8.0%. Conclusion. Between 2006 and 2012 in China, there has been significant development in ERCP personnel and training. However, the shortage and regional imbalances are still obvious, and a higher ERCP volume per endoscopist is needed.